you can pry high-rise jeans from my cold dead hands.
Absolutely.
I'm wearing them up at my belly button like my grandma and God intended.
Like my grandma and God intended.
My grandma first and God second.
Oh wait, I need my glasses.
Oh, yeah, because you're a cool cat.
Yeah. Hello, 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 hello. Hello, and welcome back to the Kindred Spirits Club podcast. How's everyone doing tonight?
You look like a cat that runs a jazz club. I mean, The Aristocats was one of my favorite movies as a kid, so
Hey, the
it's cool.
Aristocats. I saw someone on TikTok dressed as Marie, and I was like,
Actually, I really, really hate to break it to you. I don't want to be the one to say this to you, but it's giving Three Blind Mice. It is not giving cool cat. I'm so sorry. You look like one of the mice from Shrek.
Yes, no, that's what I was for Halloween. So I was with my friends in Sacramento like last weekend, and we went out for Halloween, and I was like, I don't have a costume. So I was like, let me be a cat. And so I was like, okay. So then she painted this on me. I was like, okay, I'll wear some cool sunglasses. And I was like, I look like Three Blind Mice from Shrek.
Yeah.
So then people were like, what is your costume? I was like, I'm like a disability advocate.
Rats with disabilities.
Like, cause specifically it's these ones that they wear in the movies.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm still a cool cat though.
Okay, sure.
The specificity, I have not seen Aristocats in so long that I thought I dreamt it. And then like recently it's like minorly come back into my algorithm. And
no, that's one of my like probably top 10 like Disney animated films of all time. It's got like the best soundtrack, the goofiest characters. I just love it. It's so good.
Wants to be a cat. I don't know the melody, but yeah, everybody wants to be a cat.
Oh, and it's got the gooses. Like that's not how you say goose plural. The geese that the the waddling geese with the drunk uncle goose.
Yeah, and they have all the little dances.
They got the badonkadonks. I love that movie.
Yeah, that's a good one. I like one thing I was thinking about recently was like I can't wait to like have kids someday to like just relive all of this, like relive Disney movies and stuff. I could do it now, but I just feel like it's so fun to just see it through like a kid's eyes. It's like coming back around, or like not. I guess kind of also coming back around, but it's like you're getting re-immersed. Yeah, that would be probably very healing for like the nation right now. I saw this was it a TikTok or like an Instagram or something? Someone was like, I feel like what would help heal the country is just like one more like all nighter on the computer with your brother slash best friend slash like, and I'm like, yeah, maybe we all just need PCs and Neopets again.
Oh gosh. I think cell phones to go away and like needing to be like at a computer desk in order to use a computer would be good for people.
I think so too. I like being at my desk. I like that when I walk away, it's still here and I can go do my thing.
Yeah.
But you're also a cat, just to bring it back to.
Sort of, yeah. I got little ears.
You got some ears. You could be any mammalian you would wish. I don't think people would.
Yeah, but I specify that these are little black cat ears because I just like to say that I'm dressed up as my cat.
Yeah.
A little Ash Attack.
Yeah, who may have a guest appearance on the pod.
There's people talking. I doubt he would. He's not a fan of noise, of people talking. He's the only one of my 3 animals that like perceives the television at all.
Okay.
So Gizmo does not even like he doesn't pay any mind to the TV. There's nothing going on there in his mind. And same thing with Bubba. Like unless you're playing like dog noises or anything like that. And even then he's like looking around the corner, like where is that coming from? What's happening? But Ash will walk like out of the room and look directly at the TV when people are talking on it. And like it's not the TV itself, because if there's no sound coming out of it, he goes by perfectly fine. But like if we're watching, Rhett and Link, Good Mythical Morning, he's like looking like, what the fuck, the people in the box again. He's the only one that perceives the television at all. It's so strange.
Weird. Wait, what are dog noises? Like, you mean dogs barking?
Yeah, like dogs barking or dogs whining, just dog noises.
Bubba will like perk up. So, but so Ash doesn't like the TV. He's just like,
He's just wary. He's wary of the people in the box.
wow, he's like a counterculture guy.
He's
He's like,
nervous about the people in the box. If
yeah,
everyone settles down, like when people are coming over, like if everybody sits down on the couch and like chills out and is like fairly quiet, eventually he'll come out and like say hi. He's not as social as Gizmo, but like eventually he'll come out and like if you just he he's the only one that perceives the television, but he does not like being perceived. If you recognize that he is coming into a room, he will immediately turn around and walk away. He's like, mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. But like, I had Raiden and V over, and like we'd eaten dinner, and everyone was kind of like moving around and everything. And then Raiden needed to do some homework or something like that. Um, and I was cutting V's hair, and he was sitting in a chair kind of near us, and I saw Ash walk from behind up, and I said, Raiden, just very slowly, very quietly put your hand down by your side and he will rub it. And he did. And Ash rubbed his hand and he was like, and then eventually, like they were, rubbing and everything. But it took all of like making dinner, sitting down and eating dinner, and Raiden's haircut for Ash to come out.
he needs to warm up. He's like, I always feel like the way animals like behave is a reflection of like the owner. I don't know if
Yeah.
that's always true, but
No, I
like
mean, that's fair.
I feel like if you meet just like a crazy ass dog, it might be the dog. It also might be something else. It might be both. Like
Yeah.
I feel, that's just something I've like internalized, like
Yeah.
growing up for whatever reason. Um, but you said something really funny before we were getting ready.
Oh, yeah, because yesterday was Halloween, which is why we're dressed up. Cutesy. But today, being November 1st, it's officially Christmas. And that's just how it works. Okay, it's
I was
science.
like, hold on. I'll save this for the pod.
So apparently, I've been putting together two pieces of pop culture that don't belong together. And I've just now figured that out today, like 5 minutes ago. I've been saying it is time, and then doing the Jurassic Park music, the yeah, that line is from The Lion King, not Jurassic Park.
Oh. We're
Oh.
Christmas. So I was like, oh, maybe it's a Christmas song. And then I was like, I came back and I was like, the Christmas song you were singing sounds like Jurassic Park. You said,
And I was like, no, it was Jurassic Park.
yeah. And I said, oh. And then I was like, it is time. What is that?
What is she referencing? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's like,
Just been jamming them two together.
yeah, but it's honestly beautiful. It's like an edit, like where
Yeah.
it's your own edit. Like,
Yep. Yep.
it's like a montage of like the most epic things that happened in The Lion King, but set to the Jurassic Park music, or vice versa.
Oh my god, that would be so much worse. The like putting the lines of the Lion King over top of the shit that's happening in Jurassic Park.
Dude, that's funny. People need to start doing that. That's like those,
Mashups.
yeah, like the shirts that are like hosier, but it's like ignoro the,
Yeah.
yeah, whatever, from the Princess Bride, or like other people that look like that's that, but as an edit.
Did you just forget Inigo Montoya's name?
Oh,
How dare thee?
his haircut, basically. Like
Oh
how,
my god.
oh my god, I just remember he's like, he says his name and he's like, you killed my father. Prepare to die.
Yeah, my name is Inigo Montoya. You kill my father. Prepare to die.
Yeah.
It's
That
the
was,
most iconic line. Well, it's not even the most iconic line from that movie. I think it's probably the most well known, but I'm a big fan of the marriage.
I
And
love The Princess Bride. I love the scene where they're doing the poison cup thing.
yes.
There's like so many like what is it? Almost like Monty Python esque humor moments.
Yeah.
Princess Bride. Oh, so you're saying that like that's intentional? Okay,
I
I
feel like that's just like I don't know if it was made by the same people, probably not. But yeah, I definitely feel like it was the same intention of like medieval themes and that type of humor.
so anyway, Halloween's over. It's
Halloween's over.
Christmas.
It's Christmas.
To catch you up, Haley's confusing Jurassic Park or no, yeah, Jurassic Park with The Lion King, which is adorable. We're both mammalians. I'm a cat slash blind mouse from Shrek, and you are a black cat, aka your black cat. Let's see, what else we have to catch the people up on? I got
You're
married.
married now. Yeah.
Yeah, I got married. I didn't have my ring on, so I went to go get it. But I got married.
Woohoo.
Yeah. And that made me yawn for some reason because I'm still tired from it.
Well, it's still a morning where you are. Um,
That's true. Uh,
Caitlin had, as to be expected, a full meltdown like 3 days before the wedding about nothing wedding related at all.
yeah.
There
Curtains,
was, curtains and car washes and
car washes. Yeah, I was
Mhm.
like, the car was really dirty. And yeah, that was curtains and car.
which did not stop you from getting married, fortunately.
Yeah, it's just like the things I fixate on. It was really like, the trauma was rising to the surface.
I fly to LA, she picks me up, we do our LA things, and she's like, I need to get these curtains hung because it's really bright in here in the morning. It's very bright. It's so disturbing to people's sleep. You're not going to be able to sleep in here. Do you have an eye mask? Because it's really, really bright. Bitch, that's like normal 7 a.m. brightness. It's not brighter than the room that I wake up in the morning. As a matter of fact, it's darker than the room that I wake up in the morning because the sun rises directly into my window. Do you want to know what's on the other side of her window? Another fucking building. It's a fucking building. The sun doesn't shine directly into the. I'm like, this bitch is tripping. She's fully. That's the moment I knew that you were like having a little bit of an internal meltdown and you were just like, it was coming out so strange. I was like, this is wedding stress. It's going to be fine. But she is full on tripping right now.
I know. I really wanted, because there were so many parts to things. Like people were staying with us. So I also, like, I didn't want to feel like the pressure of like hosting people, but I didn't want it to be like uncomfortable. But I have since realized that I probably have some form of like OCD. So I'm going to spend a good chunk of time on the internet just like reading about it might not be like true blue OCD, but I have an obsession with doing things in an arbitrary order, and the order only makes sense to me. So I think that's OCD, but it could be something else. I don't know. Therapists in the comments tell
Pop off
me,
in the chat, please.
pop off in the chat, diagnose me, please.
Oh my gosh.
But so I've actually been actively like practicing trying to do that. But yeah, it was hard because I was like, oh my god, people are gonna be like, you've been living here for months, why don't you have curtains? And like, and it's hard.
I've
We have 10-foot walls. Like it's like you gotta get a ladder, you gotta know like everything.
I've been in my house for 5+ years and I've got blinds because they were here. I hate them. They're fucked up because I have cats. I still don't have curtains. So
I feel like it could have been worse. I could have had way more of a freak out, but I definitely
oh yeah.
did have a panic attack, as you say in my country. A panic attack.
I had to go send her to her room with a clipboard and write down the things she wanted done while I made her breakfast.
I know, you're so amazing in like a crisis state. I feel like you just like you become so activated and you just
Oh
start
yeah.
doing things.
When there's fires to put out, I am on
You're
fire.
you're really good at it. Like you're just amazing. That
As
was
long as they're
something
not my fires. As long as they're someone else's fires. If it's my fires, meltdown, immediate.
I could feel that. Like it was like you just knew how to get to the clarity that I needed because it was like you didn't politicize the tasks like I did, It was just like, here's a list. And I was like, oh my God, thank you. Thank you for this list. Haley is so amazing, and I just realized that in so many ways throughout. this like planning process, and just like the way I honestly feel like my favorite part was like my bachelorette, because like I didn't know anything and I didn't have to
Thank
stress anything.
fuck.
And I just had to like show up, and I was just like, wow, I'm gonna do karaoke. And I just love that we just did my favorite activities. Like we didn't go clubbing. The
Oh,
act of not clubbing made me happy. You know what I mean? I was, I was like, the fact that we're just doing whatever I want, which is karaoke and eating and walking around. I'm like, this is great.
and just hanging out with the girls. With the
I
girls.
And it was such a like big group of girls, like in terms of number, but I felt like I just loved like the energy, and like I feel like people really got along, and it didn't feel like it was this big crazy group of girls and everyone was like so cooperative. Like for me, I loved it. Oh my god, I loved it. It was just so like, ugh. And you're so good at planning things. Sorry, I didn't mean to go off on this, but I just when I saw all the materials afterwards, I was like, oh my god, Haley is a project manager, like so organized, and especially when it comes to themed activities and
Yeah.
getting to. So
I
anyway,
can't
that's
take all of the credit. Aniri did help a significant amount, but I feel like we worked really good together on that and figured it
I
all
guess
out.
I was referencing more like the vibe and
Oh,
knowing exactly like all the Y2K references and
oh
stuff,
yeah, yeah,
and then like that
yeah.
showed
And
up.
and Aniri drew the most wonderful. Do you have one of those stickers around?
Oh
Mine's
my
in the
god,
other room. I can go get it if need be, but I'm gonna make a bunch of noise if I try.
I do on my charger actually. I have it on my charger.
Oh my
This,
god, look at she drew Caitlin like Lizzie McGuire.
I know
Obsessed.
so many things like there's so many things like the whole with the sisterhood of the traveling vest and the patches and the bracelets and
That
everything.
idea I will take credit for. She was like, "What should we do?" And then I was like, it came to me like a Raven Simone vision.
Oh my god, I love it! I should wear it for one of our episodes. And I got my aunt sent me this Puerto Rico patch for my birthday, so I'm gonna put that on it.
Woo woo.
It's just gonna keep like accumulating. I really should show it. If I'm not lazy in editing, future Kate, don't be lazy. Add a picture of
Insert
it.
pic.
I get so lazy with editing, but I don't want to make it worse.
She night before the wedding. Well, she sends me the wedding like itinerary day of, and it starts at like 5 a.m. She's like, "Wake up, meditate." 6 a.m. eating breakfast. Everybody's like getting started with stuff, and so I'm like, you're gonna have to be in bed like latest like 10 p.m. the night before. She's like, yeah, no problem. I'm in bed at 10 p.m. the night before, dead ass asleep. What's this bitch doing? Finishing writing her vows until like 2 a.m. I'm
Oh,
like,
cool.
okay, awesome. Whatever. Either way, I was like, you are cray cray. So the hairstylist arrived and she's literally, I have the funniest picture of you. Did I send it to you?
Yeah.
Literally starfished across the bed like as the rest of us are waking up to get ready, she's starfished across the bed like 5 more minutes, please.
Yeah, my vows, I just got in this really perfectionistic kind of state of mind that I don't
Who would have guessed?
really get it. But I got super perfectionistic. It was crazy. It's probably just because I was doing a lot of the planning and stuff. But yeah, so I got really perfectionistic about my vows. But I will say I am very happy with my vows, and I don't know if I
Mhm.
would have written what I wrote if it wasn't like cramming for it. So,
Just note to future brides, try
so
to allot yourself the time.
yeah, and reach out to the people around you that for help, and just like don't be afraid to do that. Like they love
Yeah.
you and they want to help you. But yeah, so that's how the wedding was. It was good though. It was fun, cute vibes. I love.
Pre-wedding, we went and saw Hosier, which was
Yeah,
amazing.
that was awesome. He's amazing.
So
He's
talented.
very talented, and I really enjoy how like sincere he is. Like I think I just hadn't really perceived him. Like I was just like, oh yeah, Hosier, long hair, indie guy, soulful
Yeah,
music.
you were just seeing like the music and knew nothing really about like the man behind the music. And as
Yeah,
you listen to him speak, you realize there's like so much person behind his music.
yeah, and he's so like gentle and introspective. And when he was talking about like beekeeping in Ireland, I just like I was there with him. Like we were on the mountain together, like with these bees. And he was just talking about these bees and like this really he was like, you guys don't want to hear me talk about bees. And everybody
We're
was like,
like, absolutely, we do.
this is the exact content I came here for, sir. Sorry to break it to you. Like and he just like it just took me there and I was like, wow, I wish we were on top of this mountain in Ireland, like just feeling the beauty and like yeah. And then he just obviously like he had so many eloquent things to say. Even the political stuff he said just felt so human. You know, it
Yeah.
wasn't didn't feel that political. And he's just like a dude, Saint Hosier. Like he feels like he has like saint like energy to me.
I think a lot of people would agree with that.
Yeah. I just didn't know. Is that why you were also drawn to him, like including his music, obviously, is like his personality?
Yeah, I mean, he's just like he obviously writes incredible music, but he also like the way he speaks is just very deep. He's like almost like a philosopher, you know?
Yeah, it was just refreshing. Like I feel like as I don't know if it's like as I get older or just as things in the world change, like I do become more drawn to these like really earnest souls, you know? And
Mhm.
it's like thank God that like some people I feel like we made famous and I'm like, is that really okay?
Yeah.
Well we made you famous. Uh, and then some people I'm like, okay, like we made the right ones famous, you know?
Right,
Like
right. Yeah.
we like gave the platform to the people who are gonna do something really good with it. Like speaking of Woman of the Hour and also Woman of the Hour, Anna Kendrick. Bitch, I could not watch that movie. I thought it was gonna
I
be
don't understand how you couldn't watch it. It was fascinating.
I was watching it like on a home TV, like with multiple people. And it was
So
like
funny.
we were just like I mean, to be fair, I think it was me and Monty. I think Sohini actually was like down to watch it and like could watch it. But I think just like any image of violence against a woman, I just can't, bro. It's just hard. So when they're in the apartment scene where he's helping her like whatever unload her
Move
car,
in.
move
Yeah.
in, and then that turns.
Well, and it turns so
Oh, no,
quickly. And you like Anna Kendrick had talked about this where like one of the only like you can just see it in her eyes that she realizes that something has changed and she's no longer safe. But like otherwise her demeanor doesn't change at all. It's just fascinating and very interesting. I don't think the violence was like gratuitous. I mean, like it showed it a little bit, but it wasn't focused on I don't know. I appreciate that this was a telling of the victims and survivors' stories versus necessarily telling his whole story. Like
yeah,
he was a part of their stories, not they were a part of his story, if that makes sense.
yeah, and I feel like that's often how it is, right? Like it's like the point of view of the killer, and even
Right.
sometimes like I
Their
mean, not
childhood and mental illnesses and what made them this way. And nobody ever knew they were going to grow up to be. And then you're like, yeah, yeah, yeah.
and it's like sometimes you almost like sympathize with the character too, which is always an interesting take, whatever. But I bring her up because she is like not accepting any, and like all of the profits, I guess, from the movie. I mean, I'm sure are pay back, you know, whatever crew, whatever. Like I'm
Yeah,
sure
yeah, but her personal like profits.
she's not profiting off of the movie, and she's just donating it to RAIN and to is it the National Center for Violence Against Women,
I
something like
think
that,
so, yeah.
which is like didn't used to
Huge.
impress me, I think, but as I get older and as I'm like, you know, money, you need it to live. I mean, she's got plenty, you know, and I'm like, and some people have plenty and some people have don't, and yet the ones who have a lot still want more. And it's like, I don't know, just like a very, this, it's just really impressive to
Well,
me.
and especially since she took on such a huge role, it's not like she was just, an actor or just the director. Like she was the
Like the
both.
whole movie,
Like,
she was like
yeah,
responsible for, and
yeah,
like, but I thought that as a director, I mean, I could really feel like the virtuosity. Like, I feel like she is actually a great director. I just like, I could tell some of the choices from what I saw.
yeah.
I was like, wow.
I can't
Apparently,
believe you didn't get to the
the parking lot scene.
yeah, like the bar and then the parking lot scene. That shit was like stressful for
I
sure.
probably will watch it because that is what keeps getting like referenced over and over to again show like her craft as a director and
Yeah.
like the
The
feeling.
shots themselves, like with it being so wide and with her being in one corner and him being in the other, like it's just an insane scene. I definitely highly recommend watching, like finishing the movie.
But yeah, so to say that like that all just makes me feel like, okay, we did something right by making Anna Kendrick
Mm-hmm.
this. And then like reading about like her own personal journey with like being in an abusive relationship and stuff. And then have you seen the clip of Saoirse Ronan recently, the one that went viral? Um,
No, but I've heard everybody talking about it, but I haven't watched it. And the whole thing, like, I don't know. For some reason, Paul Mescal always gave me like side eye, side eye, side eye. And I feel like this was just like a premonition for how
why
everyone's feeling about him now.
did he give you? Why did he always give you side eye, side eye, side eye?
I don't
I
know.
cannot relate to that, but I'm really curious because I know a lot of people have this point of view. I
Yeah,
wonder if
I don't know.
it's just very like dude-ish. I don't know,
Maybe. Yeah,
but
no, I've literally never seen him in anything. I just like every time I see him, I'm like, hmm.
it might just be that he just looks like a he just
A
looks
guy that would have bad opinions.
yeah, like maybe, yeah. I mean, from what I have seen in like his roles and like learning a little bit about him in press, he's like a little bit of a teddy bear. But he did date Phoebe Bridgers, so like, and she wrote some songs about him. So I don't know, jury's out. I don't know, but I found that to be like so interesting. Specifically, the moment where the two of them, future Kate, don't get lazy and put a screenshot here the moment of them where they're on the couch and it's like the boys are giggling. It's like Eddie Redmayne and
Uh
Paul
huh.
Mescal, like kind of giggling, and they're like, "Who would do that?" Like, huh? And then there's just like women, like all women have to do that, or like something like that. What did she say? Like
Yeah.
all women have to think like that, and then they get real quiet and awkward. That
Yeah.
decision for me was like,
Oh,
I
yeah.
was just like, can you like she didn't even mean to zing him. Like she zinged him on
Right.
accident. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it just got really awkward and I was like, wow, like this is men on truth. Like what did we bring this up again?
I don't know. We were talking about Woman of the Hour.
Oh, making the right people
Oh,
famous.
yeah.
Loves her show. But I wanted to talk about I want to go back to Christmas for a second because you sent
Okay.
me a TikTok that and we do this often. We send like the nostalgic horror TikToks to each other.
Oh, God. Yeah.
And it's
It
like
hurts.
they hurt, girl. They hurt. Like I remember when I found the first one for the first time, immediately sent that shit to you. Like I was just
Yeah.
like, there's nobody else that I think about when I think
It
about
was
like,
like one of those carousels, or not a carousel, but it was a video. It was like Christmas or like the week before, the day before Christmas break in the early 2000s. And it was like the photos flipping through with the Christmas music in the background.
yep. And it's like the bus, the watching
Mm-hmm.
cookies, the eating cookies, the just like don't give a fuck energy. It's Christmas break. I just miss like not having a care in the world like that, you know? Just like that really
Yeah.
deep sense of just relaxation and freedom. And it's probably because we weren't paying bills, you know what I mean? Like we
Right.
were, our parents were stressed.
We were off, school. The only thing we had to do, we were, dismissed from our responsibility of going to school like a week in advance. And you
Yeah,
just got to sit home doing nothing while your mom, is like slaving away at work still. Got somebody at home watching you. You're at your grandparents' house, you're at whoever's house because your mom's got to go to work still. Your dad's got to go to work still. But you're just like, watching Christmas movies, hanging out with your grandparents.
yeah. And I feel like we spent a lot of that time together, like summer break
Hmm.
or like holiday break, whatever. Be like, okay, like let's see what's Haley doing. Like let's have a sleepover, her place, my place.
Little, like a 4-foot tree on top of a table that my mom was like obsessed with decorating. She would be like, "No, that color doesn't go there. Put it somewhere else."
Oh, Christmas decorations. So you sent me this TikTok, and it's not like I haven't seen these types of TikToks, right? It was just, I think it was also like just the point in the day I was at, um,
Hmm.
and it was the Frank Sinatra Christmas music. Girl, first of all, I don't know if you know this, but like I specifically associate Frank Sinatra like with your family.
Yes.
And I mean, like my family liked him too, and like my cousin Austin like loved him and was like always. But like Christmas Frank Sinatra is like it happens at like grandma's house, like at like Bar's
Yeah.
house. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So you sent that, and I was just like, wow, like I'm so sad. That hurts. Like I'll never be a kid
Yeah.
again listening to Frank Sinatra Christmas music. Like,
I get emo that she sold that house because that is the house that like I grew up in, and like I'll never not be sad about that house not being my grandma's house anymore, specifically for like Christmas in that living room. Like it
yeah,
just,
yeah,
ugh,
that
it
like
hurts.
90s ass like wood fucking. I just love it though. Like it
The
was just
fireplace with the electric, like, actually,
log
I don't
thing.
know. It Yes, they were like fake logs that had holes that like propane or whatever would come out of, gas would come out of, and you would light it. But she never lit it because it was never cold enough.
Yeah. But I specifically remember like eating food there. I remember her table. I remember like
Hmm.
birthday parties there. Audie would have her birthday parties there. We'd just have like dinner there sometimes or
The
Christmas.
grandfather clock in the corner.
Oh, so emo. Maybe one day we'll
It-
buy back the front porch thing where we would just play on that horse thing she had.
yeah,
I feel that way about my grandparents' house too, like because they've lived in it my whole life, and it's just like the sentimental connections and like the specific memories, like back to the porch. I remember us both listening to our Walkmans. Or was it the Walkman with the CD player? Was it a Walkman?
yeah. I don't think it was called a Walkman at that point. Maybe it was still. I don't know.
CD
Portable
player.
CD player.
And we would both play like our own music sitting
Hmm.
next to each other. And it was like we would be singing sometimes, remember? And it's like you're singing so loud over the music. And yeah, I think your mom sometimes even would be like, Haley, like stop singing.
Stop competing.
Yeah, those are the times. So anyway, I was thinking about that yesterday and thinking like, I love Christmas and I'm in my own home for the first time this Christmas and I like just want to like,
You can get a Mondo Christmas tree in that bitch.
I don't know how I would get it here, but I
Get a
could get,
fake one. Just get a fake one.
yeah.
I
I
love a real one, don't get me wrong, but to get it into your house would be a nightmare.
just don't like the fake ones. But
You
it's
could get
on,
a nice looking fake one.
yeah, the Costco has some pretty good ones. It's on the table for sure. It's not off the table, but I'm like trying to avoid it if possible.
Hmm.
I'm just like, wow, Christmas in my own home for the first time, and like that's just so insane. Where was I going with this? I had a separate point, but yeah, just the Frank Sinatra music. Fuck, I lost it. It's gone. It'll come
I
back.
mean, Frank Sinatra always reminds me of my family too. Like, even my dad's side of the family, like, I remember cleaning days would just be like putting on Frank Sinatra and like cleaning the house. And
Yeah,
yeah, Frank Sinatra Christmas for my grandma.
yeah. I think my greater point was just like I love you, and um, just like wanting to continue these types of like Christmas Eve traditions. This episode is so sappy and
I
earnest.
know, we're so emo.
Okay, I'm gonna change things up, but we're being very emo. Proud of us. I did want to come to something that I think is really funny and is like something that I feel like you and I experience like over and over in different ways.
Hmm.
Um, but I'll give you the floor first because you should tell the Escalade story. It's not like it's this intense of a story. Let me just
Oh,
let our listeners know.
um, so when I was in high school and I was in choir, um, I had a very core friend group that I like would do stuff with, but like it wasn't very often that I would make new friends or hang out with anybody else. Um, but this group of I think four of us went to like from choir, one that I hadn't like normally hung out with, and then two more that I didn't normally hang out with. Um, went to see a movie. I think we went and saw Interstellar, and one of the girls' dad came to pick us up, and like, I mean, my family's not like, I come from a car family, so I'm used to like seeing different vehicles and stuff like that. Like my dad always had something different. There was always different cars that we were in and everything, but none of them were ever like brand new fancy schmancy cars. And I remember getting in, he had like an Escalade or something like that with like third row seating, and I remember getting all the way in the back because there were four of us. And so two sat in the middle, two sat in the back. And I remember sitting down and looking up, and there was like air conditioning controls up like in the ceiling, and being like, whoa, this is like a spaceship. And I definitely meant to say airplane, but the way that the two, like the girl whose dad was picking us up and the guy that we were with, kind of like gave each other like a smirk and side eye, like, because they were so much more like well off. Like they had new fancy cars and like not rich families. I don't know. Maybe they were rich families, but like,
Probably just people comfortable with like a lot of credit card debt. Let's be real. But come
yeah,
on.
I was like, oh my gosh, it's like a spaceship. And I was like in full serious, like awe of like, whoa, there's like air controls back here. That's crazy. And the way they just like
For
side
listeners,
eye smirk, like
yeah.
I have definitely been more embarrassed in my life, but I'll never forget that moment.
Oh, and it's like so silly because it's just like a small thing. Oh, we're being very
Yeah.
earnest today. I had remembered that funnier, but now it's kind of like because I
Now
was
no, I mean it's definitely still funny because it just kind of shows like the juxtaposition and like why I didn't hang out with those people all of the time, why I was more comfortable with the friend group that I was comfortable with because they were like kind of amongst the same. Like
yeah.
my best friend for the longest time, like in middle and high school, her mom drove a, I don't know, probably anywhere from like 5 to 15-year-old, like Hyundai Santa Fe or something like that. Like not a fancy car. Like
Yeah.
it was just like a normal car for somebody to drive. And, she lived in a middle class neighborhood with like her parents and their animals, and like her siblings would come by all the time, and like occasionally one of them would like move back in with her and stuff like that. Like it was just like a normal family to me. Like that was way more normal than driving a brand new Escalade with third row seating. And
I totally relate to that. There's just so many stories where I can just feel it's almost like outing yourself as like poor or something. Like you're like, I'm outing myself. I remember like one of the first times I saw like a custom license plate, and
mhm.
it's like, whoa, those people are rich. Like what? Like you can have a custom like because it wasn't just also like a money thing. I think it was like a time thing. I felt like our parents just did not have a lot of time, like kids, they had work, they had like what time would they have to like go to the DMV and sit and pick out a phrase for their license plate? Like that was just
Oh,
like
see, that was totally normal to me. My grandfather has had a custom license plate for like most of my life. In
yeah.
fact, when we picked up my first car, he like brought that license plate along so that way he could just like throw it on there and we could get it over to his house without like, I mean, which is illegal. Um, but um, he was like,
You're
just drive careful, don't get pulled over. Um, so he had thrown it on there, but it was his uh custom license plate, and he probably still has it, even though you have to like bring them in every 10 years. I think with the custom ones, it might be longer. But yeah, he's had custom license plate for that for the longest time. And
he's also like a
yeah,
car. So yeah. But do you remember what it said? The custom license plate?
yeah, but I don't want to out him.
Oh, because yeah. Well, I guess it was a long time ago, but okay.
It sure was. It was almost a decade ago now, but
Yeah, there are definitely like other memories like that. But I feel like on the whole, like I think I just didn't really notice. Like as a
mhm.
kid, we created so much fun, like out of just like what we had around us. And there was something about the like what I learned now as somebody who's like studied creativity and like has like a degree in design and like the design process. It's like there's kind of a sweet spot when it comes to like your constraints and limitations. Like most people who have like infinite money and infinite access to whatever resources don't end up being creative because like you don't have enough constraints, you don't have enough friction. Like there's got to be some
Mhm.
friction with creativity. It's like if you can buy whatever you want, then why even make something? Just buy the thing you want, or whatever. Like
Yeah.
that's that mentality. So there has to be a sweet spot of like, I only have 7 pipe cleaners and I want to make whatever and I need to do it, blah, blah. And it's like you have these parameters and you can be really creative. And I feel like we like that was our life. Like we had just parameters and it was like we could only do this or we had these tools or we had this time or whatever. And we would just like make up fun stuff or like we'd like do each other's makeup or like yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I just remember all of that so fondly and it was just fun. Like
We
I don't
always were doing makeovers constantly.
constantly. It was the Disney makeover sequences, bro. They got to us. They really did.
Well,
They
and all
got.
the makeover games and stuff. I still look for those. I still am like, how do I do some? I want to do dress up for a little character.
I know. Speaking of makeover games and just kind of like that era, I will say also, by the way, I don't think I mentioned it, but my bachelorette theme was Y2K. It was Batch 2K, right?
Batch to the Y2K.
Batch to the Y2K, so like back to the Y2K. It was brilliant. I loved it. The fits, oh my gosh. Somebody was wearing 13 going on 30 dress. Someone was wearing just a Bratz shirt. Haley had like this adorable pink pony club, and then like it was like
It
the
was like a very like early 2000s like baby doll tank top
the blood
style.
greens and
Mm-hmm.
the like belt. Like people were just showing up and showing out. And it was great. I loved it. And I love Y2K. It was just so fun. Where was I going with this? So, oh, but there's some Y2K just like trends I've noticed, obviously, like coming back. I hope it doesn't come back like fully because I don't feel like we need a full like rinse of that. But there was definitely, but it's been kind of nice. Like there's been some, just like I've seen people wearing like capri slash like gauchos. I'm like, actually, I'm living for that. Like I
Ugh.
would love if capris and gauchos came back. I'm personally, they just look good on me. I don't know what it is, but like not a full gaucho where it's like fully, but like just a loose capri just looks, it just is my silhouette, girl. And I've been seeing
Okay.
those and I'm happy about it.
Pop
Okay,
off then.
what needs to stay, say this with me, Haley. What needs to stay dead? You know what I'm going to say?
Orange foundation.
Okay, yeah. Um,
Maybelline Dream Matte Mousse.
oh my God, we should talk about the Time Cut, that Netflix movie that I sent you the trailer.
Oh, yeah, girl, not ugly enough. Those people were not wearing ugly enough clothes. I need straightened bangs with crunchy mousse curls. I need belts on top of 17 layered tank tops.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Popped collar Abercrombie shirts.
Mm-hmm. Sperry's.
Yep.
Wait, was
Flip
that
flops.
more? That
Yeah.
was chunky, the chunky platform shoes. Like everyone just looked cute and put together, which I get. It's like a movie, but like I'm gonna need a little more. I'm gonna need a little
Yeah.
more because also even like the way things fit on your body is like a 2003 thing. Like it has to look kind of. There's like a specific silhouette.
Yeah. I
But
don't
anyway,
know.
I was gonna say low rise jeans need to stay in the gray.
Oh, yeah, none of those can stay. Those can stay. You know what? I don't mind if we bring them back. I just need them to be in addition to. They
Fair.
can't take away my high-rise jeans. You may add low-rise jeans to the mix. That's fine. But I'm going to tell you what, the girls that are shaped like me that want clothes to fit like I want my clothes to fit ain't going to bring them back. I remember in the early 2000s when every pair of jeans was low rise and my grandma would like be like you pull them up and she'd be trying to like pull my pants up for me and like they never fit. They don't go up any higher. The crotch only goes so far. You can't pull them up any higher. And she'd be like, that's not where pants go. They go like right here. And she would be gesturing like to her like natural waist, aka where your belly button is ish, at least on like her and me. And I'd be like, are you crazy? Up past your belly button? That's not where pants go. And then high rise came along in the, 2014, 2015 era. Like ultra high rise came along. And I was like, oh, actually, that fits so much better and looks so much better on me. And I will, you can pry high rise jeans from my cold dead hands.
Absolutely. I
I'm
have
wearing
a
them up at my belly button like my grandma and God intended.
Like my grandma and God intended.
My
I know.
grandma first and God second.
Yeah. I have a pair of high-rise flare jeans that don't look like a costume. Like they just look amazing. I just
Hmm.
and I'm like, how was I living life before? I don't remember, you know? Like I don't want to remember what life
Right.
was like before high waisted. It works on our silhouette, you know, because we're
Yeah.
shorty, so like creates a lot of length.
Yeah, no, I'm not going back to low rise. I can't. I got a little too much gut.
I'm never going back. The past is in the
You and
past.
Frozen.
Let it go. Dude, I love Frozen. That was not me really singing, okay? Speaking of musicals, dude, I will be parked. My tushy will be in a seat on November 22nd when Wicked, the musical, comes out.
I want to be excited.
Bitch, be excited.
I'm not.
This is for us. This is for the kids who were in choir in middle school or high school. I was in college. I wasn't even in choir in middle school or high school. Can you believe that? I should have been in choir, but I was like, I'm not good enough because everybody was like, do re mi fa sol la ti do.
No, it was just the Sopranos that were like that.
I'm gonna plug my laptop back in. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm gonna watch it multiple times. I'm very excited.
I don't know what it is about the two leads for that movie, but I'm just like,
We don't speak ill of Cynthia Erivo on this podcast. We
her freak out about the fan edit just like gives me the ick. I don't know.
I was surprised she was on the internet like that. You know what I mean? Like if I was Cynthia Erivo, I would be just like I would be vibing. I'd be doing something else.
It
Wait, what?
just was like she freaked out that somebody was like, oh, I'm gonna edit this to be closer to the like original um, like Broadway poster. It wasn't
Okay.
saying that like it should have been like this, but she just was like, I'm gonna edit this to look closer to the original Broadway poster. And she did, and it like covers up most of Elphaba's eyes.
Oh,
And she freaked out. She was like, this is erasing me and it's rude and this, that, the other. And you already know that I got like one ended beef with Ariana Grande for no reason. So
sure, yeah. Wait, I'm confused now. I thought it was okay. Hold on. She says this is the wildest, most offensive thing I have seen, equal to that awful AI of us fighting, equal to people posing the question, "Is your blank green?" Ew. None of this is funny, none of it is cute, it degrades me, it degrades us. The original poster is an illustration. I'm a real life human being who chose to look right down the barrel of the camera to you, the viewer, because without words we communicate with it. Wait, I'm confused.
yeah, exactly.
I thought that because I've seen some offensive fan edits in my
Right.
day.
This was not an offensive fan edit. The person
Like,
just
changed it
edited
because
it to be
the
closer to the poster. And she freaked out. Like she just made Ariana Grande closer to her, her hand like covering more, her hat taller and covering like shading her eyes basically, and made her like smirk with the red lips instead of green lips. She just made it closer to the poster, and that
I don't
girl freaked out. So that gave me the ick a little bit. I was like,
so
oh, these are two like divas as the main stars of this movie. Which I mean, like, go off. Mariah Carey's a diva too, and she
I love
still has extreme success. So
I love me a diva. I mean, I'm not gonna say that I don't enjoy me a diva. I'm like surprised because I love Cynthia Erivo and have never perceived her in that way.
she did recently come out and say, like, I probably should have just like vented to my friends first. And I'm like, yeah, maybe you should FaceTime somebody before you freak out on the internet.
I want to know more because this is the wildest, most offensive thing I've seen. I'm like, wait, are we looking at the same picture?
Right? Wildest, most offensive is crazy. Is
I'm like, there's gotta
crazy.
be more to this story,
I
right?
don't
Like,
think there is, babe. I think that she like kind of jumped the gun on freaking out because she thought somebody was trying to like erase her when that's not really at least I don't perceive that as the intention.
I'm beyond confused because I mean, and listen, we're human beings and like we're all entitled to just react or like whatever. And Cynthia, I love you. I know you're definitely not listening to this, but I'm confused, girl. Can you just come on and explain?
Please,
Someone
please
said they
elaborate.
edited to look like the playbill from the musical. This overreaction is absurd. Not to mention on her story earlier, she shared a Photoshop pic of her face put on a World War II poster about PTSD.
Yes.
I had no issues with that.
That was
Wait,
the craziest thing. Like the day before she had shown like shared a meme with her face edited onto like a World War II battlefield. Yeah.
wait, what?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. On Reddit, I mean, which is not the general consensus, I acknowledge it's an echo chamber within itself, depending on what. Oh, this is on r/sad cringe. Cringing until you're sad is a place for awkward or embarrassing situations that also make you feel sad. Oh, human emotion. Okay, that's so weird. I am so confused.
Yeah.
Please explain. That's why, like, I don't know if I should ever be even remotely close to like fame or the public eye, because like I am sure I would be doing some whack shit, like, like freaking out about curtains. You
But
know?
see, you freaked out about those curtains to your friends and to your family, and you didn't take to the internet.
Oh my gosh, if there was, y'all better hope I never get any kind of fame because you're gonna just be so busy listening to me just be like, this one person on TikTok made a video about me and blah, blah, blah.
They took a
They,
screenshot where my eyes were crossed and they made fun of me.
yeah,
And
your hair was fake.
I'm really sensitive about that now.
Yeah, you guys are gonna have to be like on call. Well, at least we don't have to worry about that. I mean, until of course the pod pops off. And
Of
thanks again
course.
for listening.
But then we just get to be good friends with. Oh, you know what I learned while in the break that we've been gone is how to pronounce Drew's last name. It's Afualo. I got it now. So
Follow.
once this pops off, I'm certain that we're gonna be besties with the Brittany Broski, Caleb Heron, Drew Afualo, and we're gonna learn how to have spines from Drew, and it'll be beautiful.
I would like to learn that. I think I'm going to read her book and or listen to it on tape after I finish this book I'm reading right now. Uh,
She's chef's kiss, perfect. Love her.
it's just great. I just love how kind of locked in and secure she is. I feel like those three people are like the coolest. They're the coolest people on the internet. They're also like the people in high school that you know would have been like best friends and like they wouldn't have cared if people made fun of like they would have just been so honestly like you and your friends in high school. I always was like y'all are just so locked into your own bubble and like humor and like are just so like don't care what's going on, like who's popular, who did this. You were just like giggling at the lunch table. I guess
That's
I was
because
middle school together, so
yeah,
I yeah.
we were too focused on Doctor Who and nerd shit and cute boys that
Love
we had
being
no business looking at.
yeah. I love a
Which
theme.
looking back, I'm like, wow, those cute boys were not cute, girl, not at all.
Do you mean like real human boys or like fiction
Yeah, no,
boys?
real human boys, like the
Okay.
boys that wanted to be like SoundCloud rappers and
I was telling Sahil, I'm gonna telepathically send this to you because I don't want to say this person's name. But I was telling Sahil last night about what was so we were watching The Comeback, which is like this Boston Red Sox like docu series.
uh-huh.
It's basically about how the Red Sox like broke the curse and like they beat the Yankees in the World Series in like '04, I guess. You know, it's just so dramatic. Like we don't think men are dramatic or like care about lore and gossip. Absolutely not. Sports fans just
Oh
they
yeah.
have the tea. Sports tea is just absolutely delightful. I need women to like join the chat on this one. But anyway, I was like talking about a certain Yankees fan that I was had a huge crush on
Oh
in
yeah. I
middle
know
school.
exactly
Okay,
who you're talking about. I knew exactly who you were talking about the second you started talking about a baseball movie. I'm like, bitch, it's locked in.
I was pretty hardcore in love with someone, and I was not, but I was hardcore in love with someone, you know, and they were a Yankees fan, and it could have been me sitting here on this couch with them, you know, instead of you. What? No, not me. It could have been them sitting here on this couch with me
There you go.
instead of you. And it just brought back all kinds of memories of like the life I could have had. I would have been an angry Yankees wife, you know? And it just brought back memories of just like
Just be
this.
thankful that you're not, because I'm sure watching Yankee games on rerun is not the way you want to spend your Thanksgiving. The Yankees have officially lost the World Series. So
Yeah.
rest in peace to my grandfather and rest in peace to the Yankees World Series win. My cousin, the day that he died, was like, "This is how you know the Yankees are going to win the World Series." And I was like, "I didn't even know the Yankees were in the World Series."
Yeah, they
And
hadn't for 15 years.
yeah, since 2009.
I know. I was thinking the same thing. I was like, God, I really hope they win.
And then he died before they could even get in.
Well,
Uh,
the World Series.
I think well, I don't know if he passed before they got in, but he definitely passed before their first game. So,
Yeah, he passed before they won and got in. But they
mm.
were doing great. They were having a great season. Like it was a good time to be a Yankees fan, which was nice. Uh, and a guy from Deland on the team. You know that, right?
Yeah, you told me that. I didn't. Yeah.
Yeah, I went to high school with him. He was a senior when I was a freshman. His name's Luke Weaver. I think he's like
Okay.
their closing pitcher. So like the guy they bring in to really, really kill
Finish
it.
it
But yeah,
off.
we were in high school and people were like, he's such a good baseball player. I'm like, cool. I mean, we're all from this small town, so what do we know? But we crank out some like baseball legends, dude. Our area. We have a lot of baseball legends. But anyway,
Because there's nothing else to do.
yeah. Rest in peace, Grandpa.
Rest in peace. He was
Beautiful.
another one that had a personalized license plate for my entire childhood too.
It is with it. Maybe it was a generational thing and not just like a money thing. Next time you see me, I'm gonna have like
I
kiss
think
my butt.
California ones are free. I don't know if they're free, but there's a fucking lot of them in California.
Oh, I don't think they're free. I think there's just a big culture of doing it out here.
Y'all got weird. You can put symbols on there too. You can put hearts. That's so weird.
Yeah, there's I think you're talking about the poppies. I don't know if there's hearts, but there's
No, there's
there's
like a straight up. No, I mean like to. I'm not talking about like personalized plates, as in like the background of your plate is different. I'm talking about like the letters. Like you pick your letters.
yeah. But what do you mean
You can put
hearts?
hearts. You can put a heart. There's a heart symbol that you can put on
Oh,
your license plate in California. That's the only state I've ever seen it in. Hello?
Hey guys, this is Kate from the future. My computer died, so we didn't do an outro. So yeah, bye. Artlist